sure. Sexism reigns still. And it's understandable in a way. I mean, men have run the world forever. So all of the power structures that have developed over time, are male designed. Not they sit down and say, okay, guys, what are we going to do and keep everybody else out? Is that, as society has evolved or devolved, the structures of power change to reflect society. But since it's controlled by men, the change is still male dominated. And I think there have been a lot of advances for women in some parts of the world, but clearly there's not equality between men and women, and until there is a need for activism, to promote equality between men and women. And that, feminism, the word, I don't know why people get so freaking freaked out about it. Feminism to me merely means that I want to see equality for men and women, period. Doesn't mean I want to be a man. It doesn't mean anything, like I'm macho, bra burning. It means I have every right to have my human rights respected, and I have every right to the same opportunities that any man does. That's all it means. Human rights in general are attacked all over the world. You're too vocal. In some countries you become a political prisoner, right? In other countries they just kill you. I don't mean just. They just kill you. Women human rights defenders are that much more vulnerable because women in general are more vulnerable. And we formed the Nobel Women's Initiative, and it's 10 years old. We launched in January of 2006. And the whole point was, women recipients of the Peace Prize coming together to use the influence and access that we have by virtue of receiving, the recognition of the Nobel Prize for our work, to spotlight the work of grassroots women's organizations around the world working for sustainable peace with justice and equality. So that includes human rights defenders, and we work on all sorts of issues related to women. And it's not that we don't like men. It's just that until women's voices receive the same respect that men's voices have, there is a need for women-specific organizations to push for it, period. So that's what we do. I have never thought of it one way or the other. I am a self-confident human being. I don't care what people think about how I am in the world, or, oh my God, she's an activist, I don't care. My life is not a popularity contest. And I was very young when I started understanding that I wasn't going to be this way when I was with you so you'd like me. And then if I'm with somebody else, I'll, kind of talk the way that person likes to hear so they like me. I know who I am. I know what I believe. I look in the mirror and I do not have to, say to myself, how can you do what you do in the world? Because that's not really how you feel. There are a lot of people that must have that horrible confusion. I've never had it. And if you are sure of who you are and what you stand for, at least in my instance, being a woman hasn't really mattered. Men at first sometimes would try, especially when I worked in Central America in the 1980s trying to stop U.S. military intervention in Salvador and Nicaragua. Blonde hair, blue eyes, mamacita and all that business. But I would just look at them and, death stare. A peaceful death stare now that I've received the Peace Prize. But if you do not respond to that, if you refuse to use your female wiles in order to try to, talk with somebody about politics, then it becomes men very quickly understand that you're a human being and they're going to listen to you as a human being. So that's been my experience.